Hi Libras, I'm Jacine, also known as Tempest Trade, and this is your energy check-in. These messages may resonate for you if you have the Libra Zodiac anywhere in your chart. Keep in mind to use discernment when listening to these messages, as not all messages are for you. These messages are also timeless, which means there can be something for you, a message for you in these collective readings anytime you happen to come across these videos. So use your discernment, like, comment, bookmark, share, so that way you can keep track of these videos. And if you're interested in a one-on-one private session with me for tarot, divination, energy healing, or sound healing, you can go to my Linktree Tempest Trade, which is linked in the description below, or send me a message on any of my social media. Now that that's out of the way, let's get started. And let's see what Libras need to know right now. I would take this in the sideways. So we have the Five of Wands in the sideways, which is conflict. So as of right now, you either could be in conflict with a person, a group of people, friends, family, a job, colleagues. But given that the Five of Wands is in the sideways, this is either telling me that some of you are in conflict, some of you are moving away from conflict, some of you probably have just ended some type of conflict. With the Three of Pentacles in the sideways. Okay. So it seems as though this conflict, whatever disagreement or whatever friction you are experiencing, it involves teamwork, collaboration, working with other people, possibly getting along with other people, seeing eye to eye, having the same goals, having the same vision. So either healthy collaboration, healthy cooperation isn't there, or just something isn't working with other people. Like it's hard to work with other people. Knight of Swords in the reversal, not moving forward. This is almost like saying don't move forward with certain people that you can't work with, certain people that bring more conflict than teamwork. But this could also, the Knight of Swords in the reversal could also mean it could also mean like temperamental, moody, confusion, not having all the information, being the Sun in the sideways. Yeah, like Ace of Pentacles in the upright at the bottom of the deck. So this is very much saying like don't move forward with people that you can't cooperate with, that you can't collaborate with, that you can't have a conversation with, people that bring more problems than teamwork. And I guess in this experience or these situations that you've been experiencing, it's hard to figure out if you should move forward. And at the same time, it's hard to see happiness in this situation. Like you don't know how you can make it work. However, it seems as though there are new opportunities coming your way in terms of stability, finance, career, possibly collaboration. And it's just a matter of awareness, being aware of who you can work with and who you cannot work with. But also, I need to also say that collaboration and working with others is a two-way street. It's a two-way street, meaning just because someone might seem uncooperative, it does not mean that you are entirely innocent also. You could probably have your own communication issues or like determination issues too that you could be contributing to this situation. So self-awareness is key. We have Epiphany in the reversal to clarify the Five of Wands. Epiphany is the aha moment. It's when everything adds up and it like a plan comes together. But in the reversal, it's like stuck, unsure, you've hit a roadblock, you have confusion, things are not being solved or worked out, and that's to clarify conflict. So something just isn't working. Something just doesn't add up in terms of a goal that you're trying to reach or something that you're trying to create. Sirens in the background. So possibly something that you're trying to create, like a career or a project, something that involves multiple people and multiple moving parts. Let's get clarity on the Three of Pentacles. Lucky day in the sideways. That's interesting. I just thought of the movie A-Team and that saying, when a plan comes together. It's giving me that feeling. Like, when everyone cooperates and everyone's on the same page and everything actually runs smoothly, it can feel like luck. It can feel like this was meant to be. This was meant to happen. Everything is just going smoothly. But when people are not cooperating, when there isn't enough teamwork, when there isn't enough like actual balance when it comes to everyone doing what they need to do, everyone doing their part, then yeah, it's like luck in terms of things working out. It's hit or miss. Ooh. True love in the sideways. That's interesting. And that's with the Knight of Swords in the reversal. And the Knight of Swords, like, means don't move, don't go forward, not moving forward. But again, it could also mean like confusion in your own head, moodiness, temperamental, authoritarian. So this could be career related, but with this true love card out here, it could also be romance related. Like maybe some of you are trying to work through a romantic relationship and it's just not really working. Maybe you're confused if you actually genuinely love this person. Strength is born of love. You sacrifice yourself for another. Love inspires a change of heart. A gift arrives from a paramour. Yeah, it very much seems like no matter what you try to do, things just aren't working. Two cards came out for the Sun. Superstition on top of mislead in the reversal. Superstition is about myths, legends, folk tales, and fairy tales. It is about things that are beyond what we can see and beyond what we understand. And we essentially, our superstitions are stories throughout time. They help explain the world beyond what we can see. And sometimes it requires seeing beneath the surface in order to truly understand the truth. So, especially with mislead in the reversal, it's like being able to tell what is true from what is not true. Being able to learn from history and not be misled into into something that is false. And that's interesting because the sun is happiness, fulfillment, moving forward, blessings, opportunity, growth, expansion. So it's almost like don't delude yourself into thinking that certain things are true when certain things are not true. Cliffhanger in the sideways with father or uncle at the bottom of the deck is interesting. So cliffhanger is, of course, that moment in a story where it leaves off and you don't know what's going to happen. You might have clues, you might have hints, but you don't know. This card also says, you have no fear of death. Protection utterly fails. You glimpse what lies beyond. A calamity changes opinions. So this gives me the feeling that whatever new opportunity or new situation is coming your way in the form of the Ace of Pentacles, which usually involves inner stability, financial stability, career, material possessions and items. So in your material, financial stability world, it's like in some way you know what's coming towards you, and in some way you don't know. And maybe you're a little iffy on if everything will work out, which makes sense because you're already in this confusing situation of teamwork, collaboration, trying to move forward, trying to understand things, and everything just looks like it's confusing. And then with this father and uncle card here, so you could have a father figure or an uncle in your life, or, for example, whatever situation you're going through is tied to some type of masculine paternal wound that you may have. Like you might have a father wound, or you might have an overbearing uncle or an overbearing father. It's possible. Use your discernment. This is a collective reading. Also, if this involves true love, if this involves a romantic relationship, for example, given that we have the father-uncle card right here, this could involve building a family. The teamwork needed in order to have a good family dynamic. So, again, use your discernment. This is a collective reading. Some messages are for you, some messages are for other people. So check in with yourself, check in with gods, goddesses, spirit, source, energy, ancestors, universe. So we have natural warrior to clarify the Five of Wands, epiphany in reversal. And since Epiphany is that hot moment where everything adds up and the Five of Wands is about conflict, Natural Warrior does actually align with that, because to be a Natural Warrior, one, you need to fight. Two, Natural Warriors are very in tune and in sync with their intuition, with their instincts, with the world around them, because a Natural Warrior can read the energy of their opponent or their prey, and they can essentially gauge and understand what's happening, like reading the world around you. So this tells me that you need to work on your intuition. You need to approach certain conflicts more like a warrior, firm, decisive, with actionable steps that actually follow through. And you need to trust your intuition. Trust what you observe. Trust the signs when you see it. And move when the world, the universe, God, source, spirit, energy, ancestors, goddesses, move when they give you, like, when they give you the opportunity to move. For example, a warrior, shooting a bow and arrow, firing a gun, throwing a spear, throwing a knife. Every movement that a warrior does is highly calculated. So this is asking you to be more calculated when you are addressing conflict, when you are confronting conflict. Opportunist, to clarify, the Three of Pentacles and lucky day. So opportunist can be one of two different ways. One, it could be asking you to be more of an opportunist in terms of when you collaborate with other people, and it seems as though the collaboration might be hit or miss. Like, some things may work, some things don't. Opportunist is kind of like, jump on the moments where things are working because you want to try and catch that luck. But it's about timing. It's about timing and knowing how to actually talk to people. And it's not too different than a natural warrior, honestly, because you need to know the right time to move, to act, and to jump on something in order to grab that luck. And a natural warrior also needs to know the right timing in order to catch the prey or to catch their opponent. But opportunist could also be about another person. That some people you might be collaborating with are more selfish. They could be looking out for themselves more, taking the opportunities that they can, which is the reason why the collaboration and cooperation could be hit or miss. Because when it comes to teamwork, you need to be aligned in the same goals, in the same vision. And if one person or more, if they have their own vision, they're going to take their own chances, even if it doesn't align with the group vision. And it's the same the same is said for romance, career, family, friendships. It's all the same. Any situation involving two or more people automatically requires good communication, good collaboration, good cooperation. Without those, nothing's really going to work with other people. Into the void in reversal, to clarify, Knight of Swords and true love. Interesting, because into the void in the upright is very self-explanatory. It's diving into that unknown. But in the reversal, it's like, don't go into the void. And that's interesting because Knight of Swords is also don't move forward, not moving forward. I don't know who you are involved with, if this is about true love for some of you, or a romantic relationship. I'm sorry, my nose is so itchy. But this very much reads like, don't go into the void of what you think is true love when it might not even be true love. Ooh, we got two cards that have come out. Shapeshift in the upright and Levitate. And I believe Levitate was the first card to come out. Levitate is about getting your feet off the ground. It is floating. reaching higher heights in a mental, emotional, spiritual sense. It is evolution, growth. And shapeshift is changing who you are, changing how you look, changing how you act, changing your very essence. Shapeshift can be a good thing. It could also be a bad thing. It depends on what you use it for and how you use it. People can shapeshift to become better versions of themselves, and people can shapeshift just to infiltrate a space that they wouldn't normally be accepted in, but they shapeshift to get in, to get access. And once they have access, they can create problems. So this together is very much saying that your elevation is a choice. You can choose to get off the ground, or you can choose to stay on the ground. And it all involves shapeshifting, changing yourself. What are you changing for, and why are you changing? And are you changing for the reasons that you think you're changing for? I feel like maybe this situation, it might be changing how you respond or how you react to certain things. And maybe this is kind of the reminder to stay more true to yourself, to understand what exactly, to understand the spaces where you can actually be yourself and you can grow into a better version of yourself, and or versus what spaces bring out not the best of you in you. Because there are certain spaces that don't bring out the best in us. And ultimately, it is our responsibility to ensure that we either separate from those spaces, or we, for example, natural warrior and opportunist and into the void, we learn how to regulate ourselves. If we are going to remain in a space that brings conflict and brings miscommunication or poor collaboration and poor teamwork, we need self-regulation to remain true to ourselves in those spaces. Oh, okay. So, oh, no, never mind. I said multiple cards, 4 cards came out, and I'm not going to take all of it because I'll do 3, but I won't do 4 cards. Too many cards is too many cards. Have to draw the line somewhere. Oh. Work with me, deck. Work with me, cards. Ooh, okay. Got 1 card. Backstab. Interesting. Okay. Now, new opportunities coming your way, but you don't exactly know how it's going to go. And maybe you are insecure, unsure, confused, possibly afraid. I think you're afraid of being backstabbed because that's the card that came out, backstab. I think you're afraid of something happening with these new opportunities coming your way. But here's the thing. Just because you have been through situations where people like fought you every step of the way, or you were not aligned with certain people, no matter how hard you tried to work with other people, just because you had those experiences does not mean that future experiences are also going to be the same. Why? Because when you go through certain experiences, you learn, you grow, you evolve, this levitate and shapeshift. You have learned that you need to grow and evolve yourself. And you need to make sure that you stay true to yourself no matter what space or place you're in, or who you are talking to, or working with, or in love with, or connected to. And you've learned, or you're learning, how to see people for who they are, how to jump on moments of opportunity, how to avoid certain people who don't genuinely bring true love or true genuine connection. And you're starting to understand how people can possibly mislead you by telling you stories. So as long as you've learned those lessons, you will be fine. You just need to put what you've learned into practice and actually make the choices you need to make. Don't be afraid of any new opportunities coming your way, because fear is what stops you from growing and evolving and experiencing new things. Don't allow fear to hold you back. Use your fear, turn it into resolve, turn it into confidence that you have the tools, that you have the wisdom to make things different, to make different choices. Let's get clarity on this father-uncle card. Witchcraft in the reversal. Interesting. With steadfast in the reversal at the bottom of the deck. So witchcraft in the reversal, it could mean that either you or someone else either isn't fully tapped into their abilities, fully tapped into their intuition, into their spirituality, or it could mean that someone, you or someone else, is using their abilities and their power for selfish gain. And steadfast in the reversal at the bottom, it's like whatever situation you are experiencing or going through, or someone else is going through, it's like it's taking away their motivation. It's taking away the ability to move forward. It's making someone doubt. Hey. Okay, so answers moving forward. We have the wide open in the reversal, and that's underneath the conflict with Epiphany and the natural warrior. So there's certain things that you're not exactly open to, whether it be inside the conflict, or maybe that's the reason why the conflict is occurring. When it comes to collaboration and teamwork, there not only needs to be an aligned goal, an aligned vision, but there needs to be an openness in terms of what you're willing to consider, especially when it comes to problem solving and solutions. So there might be certain things that you're not exactly considering. For example, when people butt heads, it's because there's a difference, and someone isn't being as open that as they could be. Especially paired with this epiphany, which is that aha moment where things add up. You can only have that epiphany if you're open enough to expand your mind and think of things outside of that box. So if this is about you specifically, then maybe you need to have a bit more openness. If this is about other people that you are connected to and or in conflict with, then maybe they don't have as much openness as they could. Take it as it resonates. Protecting treasure in the upright. That's interesting because that is in conjunction with the lucky day and the sideways, and the Three of Pentacles, which is that collaboration, teamwork, and open communication. If there are certain things, Tina, you're fine, baby. If there are certain things that you want to cooperate and collaborate with to create something, you do have to protect it at the same time, which means drawing the lines and the boundaries that you need to draw in order to protect that vision that you have. And if there are certain opportunists that you're connected to, people that maneuver in their own selfishness, set their own desires above that of the collective, of the group, or the group vision, that is something you have to be aware of too. Essentially choosing your team players wisely. Stuck in the mud in the upright. And that's to clarify the Knight of Swords in the reversal. So don't move forward, don't go into the void, don't be stuck in the mud. For some of you, this could be, again, about a romantic situation. It doesn't necessarily have to be financial or career. But if this is in the romance department, again, you have to use your discernment. Certain people keep you stuck, and you yourself can keep yourself stuck. Remember, keep an open mind, use your discernment. Sometimes we are our own problem. Sometimes it's not another person, sometimes it's us. Dragon's Lair in the sideways with Metamorphosis on the bottom of the deck. Change, more change. It's interesting because we have Protecting Treasure right here and Dragon's Lair right here. The biggest thing about dragons is that they have a hoard and they protect the hoard. You very much need to protect the vision that you have. And you can't change that for others. You do need to grow and you need to evolve, but you can't change yourself if you want your vision to be the way you want it to be. I mean, you can change yourself, but be sure that you're changing yourself for that vision, for what you have for your dream. Don't change yourself for another person. And that's key because this Metamorphosis on the bottom of the deck is also change, but in the reversal, change for the wrong reasons. Change for unhealthy reasons. Or not fully leaning into the change that you need to, like evolution and growth. It's a choice. You have to choose it. There are definitely ways that you can set yourself back by being inside your own head and allowing people to alter you. But from this entire reading, it's very much Avoid the conflict if you can avoid it. Collaborate with people who are open-minded enough to collaborate, and don't move forward into sticky situations that are very confusing. This is essentially training. You are learning how to discern, how to pivot, and you're learning what teamwork actually means. Keep in mind that when new situations do arise, just because you've been in previous experiences in the past that didn't work out, doesn't mean that new situations will follow that same route. If you've gone through the previous experiences and you've gained the wisdom, use that wisdom. As long as you can use that wisdom and make certain choices differently than you would have made it in the past, things will work out. You just have to have belief and actually apply what you've learned into action. Okay. Well, Libras, this was your reading. I wish you much love and support on your journey. And if you're interested in a one-on-one healing session, tarot divination session, you can go to my Linktree, Tempest Trade, or send me a message on any of my social media. Until next time, bye.